Hey everybody and welcome to the video. It's been a little while since I've posted any content up here, and that's because I've taken part in a new ultra, and it's a stage race, and it's something that's going to be continuing for a little while now. And I wanted to talk you through the planning of the race, and then show you some of the race kit that I'm going to be using, and then show you a little bit of footage from some of the early stages. So this race itself it's been in the works for a little while now, planning it for around about 9 months or so, really putting some time into the research, just thinking about the landscape, thinking about the environment, and it's been a bit of a journey. It's been something that I found really quite rewarding, and I've been just kind of doing that behind the scenes, not sharing it on social media until today. Because it was something that I kind of wanted to do for myself, and I wanted to make sure that I could really focus quite heavily on the prep for this. And so the race began last week, and it was a race that began just after midnight, actually 2 minutes past midnight. So quite a strange time for a race start. However, it began, and it really got off to a really kind of a good start, and straight into the early hours. Felt full of energy, felt full of life, and the pace started to slow towards that kind of 4:30 time, at which point in the race you're able to have a rest, especially early on, but as the race progresses over the coming days, sleep deprivation does certainly kick in. And so because of that, I was trying to bank a few hours early on, but I got that completely wrong and didn't quite bank enough hours, which meant that 24 hours later, when the environment changed slightly, I found that the sleep that I had been getting, I could no longer get anymore. So just continuing with the pace, accepting that sometimes it'll be a bit slower than others. In terms of the ultra itself, I mean, it's something that's going to be continuing for quite a while, like I mentioned. And because of that, I'm going to need to really carefully consider how the kit changes over time, how I approach each phase of that ultra, and the things that I need to do. What's great about this ultra is that it's kind of a community type thing. You can involve family in it as well, which is really quite nice. And in many respects, it's kind of a 24-hour race, 7 days a week, 365. And so the ultra itself has been something that I'm really quite privileged to be a part of. A lot of people do take part in similar ultras, but this one itself, I'm kind of the lone ranger in terms of the participant in this race. In fact, there are two participants, myself and my partner. She's taking part as well in it, which is good. But yeah, this ultra we planned carefully, and we're currently executing it as we speak. So I'm going to show you some kit now that I've been working with, and I'll show you some footage from the race, like I said. So in terms of hydration and nutrition, what you can do is you can be self-sufficient. My partner is being self-sufficient, and she's providing all the hydration and nutrition that we need currently. However, if I want to participate in that, I need to make sure that I carry my own hydration and nutrition. So that's going really, really well at the moment. Now we're choosing to use the 5-ounce flasks. Solid form, not soft flasks, so they could go into the vest at the front here. You've got a 5-ounce and a 5-ounce, so good to have with you, especially when you're out and you're not entirely sure how long it is before the next aid station, the appropriate stop. So I've got 2 of those bottles there. The kit, always important to consider the temperature of the day, of course. So we have the option of a nice short sleeve there. And if you want to layer that up, you can layer that up, and you could use a long sleeve on top, something like this here. You can see it's got nice breathability, provides comfort, provides warmth if necessary. And if you don't want to use them in isolation, you can use them in combination, again, depending on the weather. I recommend having a temperature source so that you can see as you progress through the ultra what might need to change. Of course, you may well need to use a little hat on top just to ensure that the heat is not lost on those colder moments. There are some sharp incidents out there, and you might want to avoid those, avoid any sort of unnecessary cuts with a couple of little mittens. Mittens are important. These got elasticated, so they do fit quite comfortably around the wrist. Equally, important to keep the feet warm, as we know. It's not always appropriate to be wearing socks or indeed shoes, so these come in handy as and when necessary. I found that an additional layer covering the torso is also a nice option to have, especially when travelling some distance. So there we go. That's what I've been using recently. And of course, to ensure that we can progress from aid station to aid station without any unnecessary accidents or nasties, this in particular item has been absolutely wonderful. I mean, it's been something that we rely heavily upon, and we've used multiple of, I'll be honest with you, multiple of. So it's been a fantastic experience thus far. We're not many days into this ultra, and it will continue, I'm told, for years. So sleep deprivation, very, very interesting to try and combat that. So with that said and done, here's a little bit of footage from the early stages of the ultra. Enjoy.